He's going to be traumatized because you put that mask on him and you don't let him breathe freely. You're traumatized.
That's my choice.
Yeah, well,
that's my choice. You better respect my choice.
Here's how it reads in part. The letter tells the leaders that their party is reaching another crossroads where they must once again decide whether they will vote to fund a federal government that is enforcing tyrannical COVID-19 vaccine mandates on the American people. Right now, vaccines are required for federal workers, on-site contractors, military members, civilian defense employees, Veterans Affairs employees, federal health care workers, foreign residents applying to immigrate.
I think as Americans, we're ready to move on. We're ready to have our lives back. We're ready to be back to health, back to school, back to our work. But what they continue to do is bringing this up. And what we found now, we are now having more people that have died from COVID under Joe Biden than we did prior. And he's had vaccines. So I think in this latest study, we now know that it does not work. These shutdowns make any difference. America needs to move on.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I feel like every single video I make, I point out how everything that Republicans complain about was reality when Donald Trump was in office. Think back, who was in office when the major shutdowns happened? Because the 2020 elections were in November. And that whole year during those shutdowns and until Trump left office in January, the whole insurrection and all that stuff, but we're not here to talk about that today. Who shut the country down? The Donald Trump administration. And it wasn't a bad move because we were dealing with something that we've never seen before. COVID-19 is something that none of us were used to. And so shutting down, again, not only did America do it, the entire rest of the planet did it. But here we have all these issues to where the entire time, don't take your vaccination, don't put your mask on. Who cares what the liberals say? Even though Donald Trump was in office when the original shutdowns happened, where were the complaints then? And again, more importantly, there isn't a nationwide federal shutdown right now. That's not a thing. I live in New Jersey. I live right next to New York. In the NYC, you can't, go to clubs or bars or restaurants or anything where people really gather inside unless you have a vaccination card. That's a state mandate. The federal government didn't put that into practice. And then, you have many businesses, many giant corporations who still have people working from home, which is saving a lot of them money. Well, would save them money if they didn't have those, 10, 20-year leases on those giant buildings. But again, companies, private entities, and states are taking these types of actions. So you're just whining and complaining about something that, again, has been going on since the beginning of, the pandemic itself. But not only that, it's like, well, what are you really talking about? Because this is a state-by-state basis. The whole country isn't shut down. That's not reality. And then let's talk about the fact that you have 49 Republicans who are willing to shut down the government over, vaccine mandates for federal workers and mandates in different states and things like that. But Kevin McCarthy was literally just saying how shutdowns, just in general, shutting down business and schools will lead to mental health problems, right? Well, shutting the government down could lead to issues for people who, work for the government. If the government shut down, none of them are at work, and let alone the government's not open for business to, run the country. So I don't really think that the risk reward is balancing out here. But of course, we're talking about Republicans here, and nothing that they do makes any sense. It's long since I was born. Have they done anything that made any damn sense? So, this really is just par for the course. But people, the 2022 midterms are literally here. And these crazy SOBs really might take over both chambers, the House and the Senate. So we can't let these crazy people back into the federal government. We got to do everything we can because the clock's ticking.